Greetings, listeners. Your host, Zach, here tonight, introducing you to the Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. Thank you for all of your patience over the past several months. Between lockdowns, work, personal lives, and everything else, we're finally back to new episodes. As always, we'd like to thank our donators over on the Ko-fi page for sticking with us during the break and beyond, such as Alec, KJ, Noops, D-Devil1193, TJ, and Taylor. And if you want to help support the show, offer up sanity to investigators and all sorts of other things, please check out our Ko-fi page for more. Currently, the community is working to help get us some parts that we need to start adding video to our podcasts, and we thank you all for your support so far. Otherwise, please take a look at our merch shop over on twistedgearstudios.com. But for now...
Last we left the investigators, Skeet and Althea had broken away from the other investigators to have a closer look at the Silver Twilight Lodge. It appears the owners of the estate are preparing a party. Maybe this is their way in to save Alistair and find out what's been happening around Boston.
Because you asked him to take the robe, and as you realize, Skeet is very literal.
Yeah.
Well,
but he did tell you about it.
I'm okay with him not doing something that I didn't, only doing what I asked him to do. Well, I'm totally okay with that.
Skeet, what did the mask look like?
Oh, means it was like a face. It was
like a person's face?
It was white, and it was like covers up your face.
Was it made of wood, metal, plastic?
I don't know. Wood wasn't wood. Definitely not Italian wood. But it wasn't wood. It seemed like a glass, maybe glass.
Porcelain.
Porcelain. Isn't that the stuff they put in the bathrooms to make it smell better?
Like
Sure.
the plates, like the plates that we have in the breakfast ballroom.
I don't really use the plates too much, miss.
I know, but you've seen them there.
Yes.
Regardless, you said they were white?
Yeah, it was white, or white.
This
With
Taylor...
any drawings, any paintings, any images on them? Just pure white?
Just seemed to be white, not.
Althea, this tailor that you know, do they specialize in porcelain masks? Do you know if that would be something that they would bundle together, or is that a separate...
No, just clothing. So now I'm trying...
Althea, you know they don't make them. Mm-hmm. But Chafe & Sons, you can get almost anything through. Mm-hmm. Like they can bring stuff in from other...
They might even have a tie with a theater. That's why they would have had...
At the word theater.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
At the word theater.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
What have you done?
I need Althea to make me a willpower roll.
Oh, no!
I'm so sorry.
Agatha, God damn it!
My rolls have been going really well so far, so I expect I'll be rolling 100 on this one.
Yeah, that checks out.
Oh, 77 out of 80.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Out of, what'd that call for?
Willpower.
Oh my God.
Actually, yeah, you
I
have
have a very high willpower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. And you, surprisingly. And you just make it, but quickly through your mind was, oh yeah, theater. Maybe there's masks in the theater. Down under the house. Maybe I could go down and check. You never know. Now, I know I did that in a little bit of half-Skeet voice, but basically, by making the willpower roll, it doesn't become sort of imperative.
That I do?
But you do know it. Also, at a certain... When you people went and checked out... Skeet gave you the tour of his house. He did mention that he did save Althea. And you were going to question him on it. And he said, you'd have to ask Althea about that. Something to do with her house.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just bringing that up even though it's not really relevant. But just keep us all... The information you do have.
Yeah.
That you do know he mentioned saving her.
Oh, dear.
Well, It's Taylor, they do have a lot of connections, so it's possible that they could potentially provide something like this. But they're...
They might also have information about their client. Could you ask?
I could try.
You might have to bribe them. I mean, it might be confidentiality issues, right? They are business.
Ma'am, I could just hop right over and go grab it.
No.
I mean, if you want to see it, you can always go look over the fence. I don't know. Fence.
Oh, wait.
Wait?
What? No, actually, no. Take that back. Because he didn't grab the one from the end. He went farther in, and we might not be able to see it. I was thinking if he had taken the robe and the mask was still there, right?
You're not sure unless you look.
No, we've taken enough chances already. Let's take a trip to Chafe and Sons.
Well,
do I look rich right now, or do I need a bath first?
Do I look rich right now, or do I need a bath
I'm
first?
asking this.
That is definitely an Althea phrase.
Wow.
Do I look rich right now, or do I need a bath first? Because, you know what? Roll me a luck roll.
Okay.
Wow.
Because this determines whether we go to the tailor's first or whether we go back to the house first. I got a 63 out of 62.
And you can't burn luck and luck rolls, people.
And even if I could, I would not burn a luck for that.
After sneaking around and you notice, being leaning up against the wall like you did, that there was some dirt and stuff on the wall. It got on your clothes. I mean, you don't look as rich.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen, because our event is tomorrow, but time still is of the essence. We're going to go back to the house first. And
it's only a 35-minute drive.
I know. Outside of character, the rest of them are now going to see Althea looking as rich as they have ever seen her when she's done.
Well, hang on. There's an issue with this plan.
What's that?
We three here were chit-chatting. We might be behind on a couple of appointments based on some of the events that have been happening over the past 73 hours.
What
the cops might be at your house.
Well, we should probably stop at the police station first, see if Officer Caputo is there. That's
Officer Caputo?
Well, remember when there was like a series of bombs, like one at the library that we were at.
One that threw me out of a window.
I vaguely recall.
Yeah, a policeman came and questioned us because we, of course, were at the scene. And we had said that we were going to follow up with him because, well, Amos's explosion went off and he had to go and deal with that. And so we have kind of made an appointment to go and talk with him to finish off his report. You look like you know something. What?
That's a face.
Just out of curiosity, does he know that all of us are acquainted? Has he given any indication of that?
How did you meet him?
He knows that Agatha and I, certainly.
But does he know about all of us?
So
does he know that you know me?
I don't know.
Question. Did you ever tell us who the officer was that interviewed you?
No.
So how do you know?
I talked to him when I blew myself out of a window.
Are you telling me we have one guy in the police force that knows all of us from an incident?
When did you talk to him?
And we've been avoiding him.
I encountered him at the hospital. When I took Officer Ricky there.
The one that I hit with the car.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
Well, this is my question.
Goodness.
Is there any indication from him that he knows that we know each other?
Well, we don't know.
Did you guys
we
give
missed
him
our
an
meeting
address?
with him.
No.
I don't recall.
Oh, good.
Okay,
we
so
gave him our names because that would be that he would ask for that.
Okay, I'm going to make a suggestion. I'm going to suggest that because I didn't have to meet him anywhere, that not the three of you go together.
Well, Marion and I can because
you and Marion, yes.
We could show up around the same time coincidentally. I don't think any of us should wait.
Because the explosions happened at the same time. They would be asking for people to come in.
So this is the thing. We're talking about a police officer who is obviously already potentially questioning.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Good point. Did you mention that you were with us?
No. I
didn't mention I was with you guys. You didn't mention with us. Okay, then great. Did you say you had to go back and see him at some point? Did you promise you'd go and talk to him again?
I told him, I gave him my information and said that he could call me at any time.
Fantastic. So you don't have to go back and see him. I told him I would see him yesterday. You guys said you'd see him
yesterday.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I just think that coincidentally, if the people who, coincidentally showed up to talk to him around the same time were also the same people who coincidentally he was talking to when 2 different explosions went off, that perhaps it might not look like a coincidence.
Okay, well then let's get our story straight, because it's not a coincidence. There is a reason why they both happened. They were both by the same guy. So if we go and talk to him, let's get in the car.
I assumed we were in the car.
We are probably in the car. Okay, so hang on a second. Let's get our story straight. So if we go, I'm just going to throw a couple of options out here. If we go separately, we are still going to have very weird stories, because you and I are both going to, if we're telling the truth, tell them about Heinrich. If we go together, it might not be as weird that we are both dealing with Heinrich. Now, that is if we're going with the complete honesty route. Let's debate the merits on whether that's useful or not. What's the con of being honest with them?
As we'll also need a reason to not have showed up yesterday, which...
She didn't have an eye 2 days ago. She had an eye 2 days ago.
Exactly.
Incident
also,
where we were staying.
Yes.
Well, you all have suffered traumatic experiences over the past.
I got blown out of a 3rd-story fucking window.
Well, you're not going to tell the police officer that, because he's going to be like, how did you live?
Well, and also...
He saw me in the aftermath. I kind of looked like I got blown out of a window. I'm not going to say I got blown out of a window, but I was in the building when an explosion went off.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, if our reasoning for not being able to go to the police station yesterday was to do with an attack on Agatha that cost you your eye, will of course be the question of why wasn't that event reported to the police?
Yeah, why wasn't I taken to hospital?
Because you're dealing.
I was treated by.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So what's the problem? Okay. Well, then let's discuss the merits. Is it worth mentioning that we know Althea? What's the downside of that besides, him thinking that we're responsible for everything?
I hit one of his officers with a car.
Oh.
Yes, but he does not know that.
That's
wait,
fair.
what?
That's important info.
What did you tell the officers when you brought Officer Ricky in?
That one of my employees did it, and therefore I was there as the responsible party because I am responsible for my employees.
Did
you called us employees?
The employee?
That's very noble of you.
Did you give a fake name for the employee?
Do I have to say that I'm an employee of yours?
No.
Wait, no.
What did you say? Who did you say?
I said it was Skeet.
The person that we're trying to keep secret.
From the military, not the police.
That would probably have ties. Military could take over police or even demand records.
The police are also looking for him.
I was in a bind and trying to come up with words that were not my friend Agatha hit this police officer with my car.
It's very noble of you.
While we were chasing a very strange man across rooftops.
May I ask a question? Does Skeet have a response to all this? Because I'm assuming he's hearing all of this.
No, he's right there.
He's right here.
He's like, yeah, so miss, I didn't hit anyone with your car, I swear.
No, you didn't, which is why I was there.
But you told the coppers to that?
Yes, but I also said that you were my responsibility. It was an accident, and I was to take care of the family, and that is why I was there to make sure everything was fine.
Oh, that's fine, miss. That makes sense. And all you hear is Simon go.
What a prick.
And Althea goes,
What a dick.
you go back to whatever you were doing a moment ago and shush.
Right? And then Simon goes, yes, ma'am? Skeet looks at him, they high five.
I hate how much I love this. Oh boy. Okay.
Skeet doesn't seem to care.
Really uncomfortable for her.
He was worried a bit at first, but once you explain,
I told
he seems
him.
fine.
I told him I would take care of him.
All right.
Yeah, that's to put it in a different way. That sounds from Althea. Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you.
Listen.
All right.
Fine.
Oh God.
I
No matter what we do, we can be honest about everything, but as soon as we start dealing with Agatha's eye, things get a little hairy.
Yes.
All right. All right, then. So why don't you just go and be honest, then? Tell him everything.
Because he's not going to believe it, or we're going to be the ones at fault.
The reason that the New England Center of Antiquities exists is there are many things that cannot and should not go to the regular police force. They're not
shit.
prepared. They don't have the resources for it. If they start investigating into this, more people would get hurt.
You just hit the nail on the head. There's no artifacts in the center right now, yeah? The physical building that got shot up?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I got an idea then. I mean, we should just be upfront about it. There's a coincidence here that the three of us got caught up in explosions by the same man whose house and estate is outside of town that has been emptied, had other incidents occur in. And this same man shot up the New England Center of Antiquities. There's nothing to say that we can't just say we've been staying at the New England Center of Antiquities. It is a residential household.
I look at Simon.
Well, I mean, yeah.
With that,
I don't know. I usually don't deal with the police force.
Yeah, he's useless. So
Yeah. So I'm not sure what this individual who I've never met would react to information. Although it looks like Alfie is choking on something.
I'm not joking.
Well, clearly you have something to say.
I'm not. I think it is a very good idea if we try to maintain as much as possible that you have not been staying at my home and that we are not acquainted.
that's basically the entire idea that I've been suggesting.
Yes.
I was more concerned with how we explain both why we didn't show up yesterday and why Agatha suddenly has a traumatic injury that appears
Yes.
much more healed than it should be for the time.
Well, and Simon, he says, well, I mean, it's like, it's the police. They're not too bright. Just say you couldn't make it. Say it was hurt in the explosion. I mean, just sell it.
Maybe she had a glass eye.
How, like the explosion from these New England Center of Antiquities?
Well, he doesn't know your eye's gone. You're just
Althea?
wearing a patch.
Althea, do you have... You're wearing a patch. How much of your face is the patch covering?
It would be covering the whole, like
It's a fairly large patch.
Okay, then yes.
Do I?
If it, as far as anyone can tell, underneath that patch, it's a fresh injury.
In my house of a million things, do I happen
Glass
to
eye.
have a family member who would have had a glass eye?
No, it's
of very
fine.
good quality.
This is fine. This is actually Simon makes an excellent point. As long as you
get
continue
back to
to
that.
wear the leather patch, it can appear as a fresh injury. You were injured. We had it treated by a family friend of ours. That is not uncommon. I know many individuals who can't afford to go to the hospital and will be treated by family members, and we couldn't make it yesterday. Simon's absolutely correct. As long as we stick to the bare bones of the facts and make it as convincing as possible.
As far as the glass eye is concerned, and I'm going to lift up the thing, there's no eyelids there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
literally a hole in my
Now,
face.
I'm going to have you roll a luck roll because I want to take care of something. Roll a luck roll.
Oh my fucking god.
So yes. Oh no, you.
A 65 out of 62, so no.
So no, there have been people in your family tree who's had glass eyes. Don't get me wrong, but they are not on display in your house. The eye patch, yes. Poor Harold. But just the glass eye, just there, that's too far.
Yeah, that's
All right, fine.
All right, so before we get going here, so just to recap, so we're going to heavily lean on that we've been staying at the New England Center.
Yes.
Well, do we have to be because I think we all still have our, well, you don't have your residence anymore, but I mean, some of us still have our own respective residences because they're going to want an address. I mean, it would be more convincing to say we worked at the New England Center of Antiquities and we were
that is
separately
true.
staying at our own residences.
Well, that's fair.
And just as a keeper, Amos, the officer you were talking to, I never clarified that it was Vincent Caputo or not.
Oh.
It was a police officer, but from talking to everyone, the reason this conversation makes sense is Vincent Caputo was definitely super involved in the investigation, so
And I would
he
know.
would know, right? So I just wanted, just for continuity, I just
Okay.
wanted to clarify that. And when you were talking to the officer, could have been Caputo, could not have been, who knows? But the other thing is
Talking to them in regards to
that
Bill.
you lived in the building,
Yeah.
right? And that the explosion happened.
Yeah.
You did mention that Detective Bill was killed.
I was very specifically talking to him about the fact that Bill is
Yes.
deceased. He's in there.
100%.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's the fault.
Continue. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt when you guys are having.
If it comes up, we are all employed by the New England Center for Antiquities, so we're
Which is
working
true.
together on an investigation, and we couldn't make it yesterday as we were helping our dear friend deal with a traumatic injury.
That's fair. Wait, which one?
Really?
Agatha,
I got thrown out of a third-story window.
Yeah, but you're walking.
we were also helping you deal
So
with your
is
own
she.
injuries, but hers are a bit more noticeable.
I'm just being a shit. Anyway,
No.
quick question for you. Did you just sarcasm me? Anyway, Mr. Black. This is gonna be a weird question. Is he a lawyer by chance?
I'm not, as far as I know.
Cool. Figure I'd ask.
Why are you asking her? Why aren't you asking Simon?
Hey, Simon. Is Mr. Black a lawyer? I'm just so used to asking her because she's way more useful.
Mr. Black is a lot of things, but he's not a lawyer.
Oh, damn.
But
Okay. Don't say you are.
well, I'm sure I could pass the bar in any state. I mean,
Bar is law.
I've broken the laws on a lot of them,
The bar is
if not most of them. But Mr. Black is the liaison for our plethora of lawyers.
Yes.
To keep stuff in the courts and pay off, to make stuff go away, dealing with the artifacts and the stuff that we do, that we need to make some stuff get swept under the rug, and
Right.
there's a lot of people on the payroll to make that happen. Althea, I need you to make an idea roll. I know I'm asking for Althea to do a lot, but there's some stuff she needs to know about what she said talking
No.
to...
95 out of 70.
You do not know what I was going to tell you. Okay. Sorry,
So
go
the
ahead.
reason why I'm chiming up is okay. So we're in the thick of a situation. We're gonna go talk to the cops in regards to working one of your things. The reason why I bring it up is because I assume this wouldn't be the first time that your investigators have had to deal with the cops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
of course. I mean...
I figured we should be as honest as possible, and it's going to become very apparent that these two and myself are going to both be talking about the same demolitionist that was once... I'm not going to mention this, but there is the connection that they were once one of your payrollees. It may very well be that they're going to request contact information from us. I just believe that we should all be sending the contact info to where you can control it.
Ooh, that makes a lot of sense. You said we're going back to the house quickly?
I need to, yes.
Okay, so I'll make a quick call at the house. So when
Okay.
Mr. Black is going to bring the Egyptian the chest
Yes.
with the symbols on it, when he's bringing that back, I think he said it'd be around a day, so probably tomorrow it's going to show up.
That timing's suspicious. Not suspicious, is well timed.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best way to get ahead of it, because the only other option that I would use is I would just get my lawyers involved now, and you don't get to be talked to by the police. Everything goes through the lawyers. But that also, Amos, you have a decent relationship with the police,
I
and
like that option.
stonewalling them like that might be taken
No.
a certain way. But I'm just throwing it out there as an option.
I like option A. I like being able to be upfront, good report, but also, let you guys take care of the, suspicious stuff while keeping anonymity from us, the whole Althea in the house thing.
So we're going to the police now while you, Simon and Althea, head back to the house, finish up what you need to do, figure out what to tell Mr. Black, and then we'll meet back up after you've spoken with the tailor?
Sure. That sounds all right to me.
So, ma'am, so just dropping everyone off at the police station, I'm assuming, ma'am?
I think that's going to be suspicious.
No, we'll be going back to the house.
We will cap it.
Back to the house.
Okay.
Thank you, Skeet.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been exceptionally helpful today.
I'm
Could-
especially helpful every day, ma'am.
Oh.
It's in my nature.
Oh, Jesus.
Marion and I could probably take a cab from somewhere in town so that we're all not leaving from a house.
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so
Just in case the house is being watched.
yeah,
That might be a good idea.
yeah. That's my only only thing.
So just drive us a couple of blocks away and...
Yeah.
And then me a couple blocks later.
And then
Okay.
we'll just hail our respective cabs and head on our way. And if we run into each other at the police station at the same time, we just pretend we don't know you.
Well, we do know him. We work with him.
We don't need to pretend that we don't know each other. We're going to be talking about the same guy.
Oh, fair
Did Caputo, if he's the one in charge, he is going to draw the connection. That's the whole point. We're anticipating he's going to find out.
Right.
I recommend being as truthful and honest about what happened as possible up until where we've been staying.
Right.
And some of the artifacts we've uncovered.
I wouldn't even say you need to mention the artifacts. I
No.
would just say
No,
that
we
that
do not.
Heinrich, you can even mention Bill. We've been working together, right? Heinrich shot up your place of employment where we've been working.
Indeed.
Bill was working on the case with me, and he was killed in my apartment before the explosion.
Yep.
I was already talking with an officer about it, so that ends up carrying it out. He then continued on to deal with you two, and then myself.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Sure.
Let's go.
Also, it just has a thought while everyone's talking about when I think about, okay, if the house is being watched. And then I kind of have a thought and I start getting paranoid and I look out around on the street because it is the middle of the day.
Spot hidden.
Just to see if anybody's been following us.
I thought
Or seems suspicious.
We were in the car, right? We weren't moving.
We have not moved.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
92 out of 68.
Wow.
The dice have started to hate
You
me.
see nothing.
Can I make a request of the keeper? So,
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You may.
So, whilst there is a part of this plan that we have to go to the cops that is a lie, that means that we're probably going to have to make some kind of a lie check. Is there any role that I can make because we've had this big plan talked out? Is there a role that I can make and on a success possibly provide a bonus die for all those as long as we're sharing the same story?
Because you've discussed it for so long, now there are different ways of bluffing and stuff like that, and it depends on how you want to go through it. It's either talking and see where it lays. The main skills that you'll be looking at here are charm, which is, sugarcoating it up to the person, being charming to that person. There is fast talking. I look at fast talking as also bluffing. So, but it's more of leaving things out of the conversation, not to answer an issue. And then there's persuading. Whatever way that you sort of decide to do it, chances are it's going to be fast talking.
Oh, fuck.
But you can try persuasion. It depends on how close your story is to the truth.
Well, I'm trying to keep it as close to the truth as possible.
And then I'll allow a persuasion.
Okay.
And I will allow each of you, because you've taken time to discuss this, each of you will have a bonus die.
Oh.
Anyway, I feel that would be appropriate for this situation. Like if Skeet was going in to talk, it'd be fast talk.
Yeah.
There'd be no persuading. There I was, you see.
Oh, God. All right.
I saw it all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say yeah.
Yes.
I was holding the door the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
You all hop into the Packard Twin Six. Skeet drives a couple of blocks and drops off Marion and Agatha. And
Don't
then-
worry, I left my Lee Enfield in the car.
Thank you.
I hope you left Kathleen in the
Please
car.
don't take that to the
God.
police station.
Grab my satchel. I will give it a quick check to make sure that the only things in it are things that should be in my satchel.
Okay, so
Grenades should be in your satchel.
I feel because you still have 3 grenades that you took from the Church of Contemplation in the basement. I am sure they're in the trunk of the Packard Twin Six right now, and you're not carrying them around in your satchel because a grenade went off at the library.
Yep.
The last thing you want to do is go to the cop station and they check your purse and there's 3 grenades in it.
I'm also going to double
That's a
check
pretty good
that
fast
the notes because I've been keeping notes this whole time that any notebooks that are in my satchel are not ones that are filled with occultish diagrams and take out.
That's almost
any
all of
notebooks.
your personal notebooks.
So I'm going to take them out of my satchel and hand them to Simon.
Oh, and Simon's
say,
like, oh.
Can you hold on to those for a little while for me?
Of course,
These
and
are
he starts flicking through them. He starts flicking through
case
them
notes
pretty
so
well.
far. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
No.
Because once you say case notes, actually, then he starts flipping through them because
That's a steal.
That's his deal.
I really hope that we are not being watched, because basically what's happening is everyone gets in together, then we stop, we take 2 people out, we put some friggin' guns and grenades into the trunk of my car.
Do you see? Would I notice if she's being like extra?
Now here's the thing: she did her spot hidden, stopped near the Silver Twilight Lodge. I'm going to say this conversation happened a few blocks away.
Yes, this is right before we
I'd be saying if anyone's
Agatha and I
careless.
leave.
You can roll a spot hidden.
Yeah, I don't want to ask. Can I make the same check that you just made?
I mean,
Something different.
everyone can make one if they want, but because Amos brought it up again, I was going to have him go.
Yeah, Mary didn't think of it, so. Well, that's a bad noise.
That's a fail. It's 86 out of 63.
Well, he's also the private detective, so, I mean, his job would be to follow people around. Mm-hmm. So he might think about people following.
Yeah, I know.
But I
He
failed.
got the role, but he didn't really notice.
Okay.
And, I mean, he didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary is what I meant to say.
We are what's out of the
Thank you,
ordinary
generous
on this
people.
street.
That's so awesome. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so now you're dropped off.
Yep.
And then another couple of blocks go by, and Amos is going to be dropped off. Is there anything else you'd like to say at this point? Knowing that Agatha and Marion are not here right now.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
I'm not trying to say you're going to keep something from them, but just like, is there anything... It doesn't need to be. You guys just talked for a bit about it.
So, I guess we didn't talk about them where we're going to meet. Well, I'm going to find them in the police station. Why don't we meet... where's a common place where we've been going?
Church of Contemplation.
No.
Sewers.
That Taylor's place. We'll just meet you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll give him the address, because I know where they're located.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. I don't have anything on my person that's obscure or occulty.
Just everything.
Just my general demeanor. Otherwise, yeah. If I have anything that's like unique to the case, I will actually leave it with Simon and Althea as well.
Yeah, I can't think of it.
No. You got no dynamite in your pocket, so?
I double checked the dynamite.
Okay.
There is none. All right. Safe drive. Meet you at the Taylor's.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, and then you are heading back to...
The house.
The house.
The house.
The mansion on the hill.
Yeah. Mansion on the
Christ.
So she can look more rich than she was before.
Yes. Yes.
Ridiculous.
On a scale of
The
ridiculous
gall.
to dirt poor, how rich do I look?
No.
Okay,
That's amazing.
I'm just going to roll randomly to see which group I'm going to go with. 1 to 2 for Althea, 3 to 4 for Marion and Agatha, and 5 to 6 for Amos.
What up?
I'm not really going to get into the role playing of the cab rides. Unless you want to sit in the cab and talk about stuff you shouldn't be talking about, I'm assuming.
I fell out of a window.
Look at me! Robbery!
What is your day been like?
Did your arm do this? Bends it backwards. Mine shouldn't either. No.
Whoa!
Tripping.
It's
Yeah.
quadruple jointed.
You
Gross.
get a cab
Yeah.
to the Central Boston Police Department.
Yeah.
Where you've been to before. It's where Detective... You know what I mean? It's the Central. The commissioner is upstairs, Herbert A. Wilson. I'm not saying you're talking to the commissioner, but that's the other name you knew, really.
Yeah.
You know him quite well.
He doesn't know me, though.
That was funny.
I failed that credit rating roll.
No, you
Didn't I?
talked to him.
Oh,
and
I talked to him,
eventually,
yes.
he knows who you are.
But yeah, but I had no influence over
You,
him.
you noticed talking to Herbert A. Wilson, actually, at the time, that he was quite shrewd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as you were trying to play around with him, he was very... Seemed to be very smart and capable. Came up through the force, probably. Definitely detective skills. He
I
was
know.
no
Someone-
slouch.
Someone
He
that
didn't
you
become
would...
commissioner by collecting
Yeah,
buttons.
someone you would want to be commissioner, unless you were trying to
also
get
seems to
information
be-
out of them.
He also seemed like a bit of a dick.
Fair.
He
All
did.
right.
Okay, so Amos, you notice... Well, of course, outside you do not notice a Marion or Agatha, so you assume maybe you got there first.
Fair enough. I will go on in, go
Sure.
to the front,
Yeah.
and be like, hello there, I'd like to speak to... do we have a name for the officer that I spoke to?
I can't actually really
I can just give you a name.
I'm pretty sure I didn't use Vincent, but if I did, we'll just say, you
Ricky.
describe the officer.
Officer Ricky.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Wait, who is Ricky? Oh, that's that one. Sorry, next on my list. Officer Jesse. I have a list of names that are going to pull out of a hat every time I go to the police station.
Okay, fair enough.
Officer Jesse.
Well, so basically behind the main desk, it's a bit higher. The person is sitting there. It's a disheveled person.
Because we're leaving you guys to talk to Vincent, right?
The uniform is a little bit not perfect. You know what I mean? Like one of the buttons is undone. Here's a bit off. Person looks really tired. It's a gentleman in his 40s. Looks like he hasn't slept very much
Having
lately.
a rough day.
And he sort of, just having a rough couple of days. There's explosions and stuff like that. We've been working around the clock. You said you were here to see Officer Jesse, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're quite familiar with a lot of the officers here.
Yeah.
Anyway, they might know you, but you're familiar with the officers around town.
Yeah.
So even if you were talking to Caputo, you could throw out another name and it wouldn't matter. He's like, I've seen you. Maybe I better roll for this. Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen you here before. I can't place the name though.
Milton. I'm usually here with Bill.
Oh yeah. It's a shame what happened to the good old Bill. Yeah.
It's actually why I'm here. I have to file a report about that with Jesse. He was the officer on scene during an explosion that Tilts was involved in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, well, you know your way around. You can just go on back. You should be in the bullpen.
Right. And do this
That's what he
normal
says.
thing where I'll actually, disarm at the thing, hand that the way that normally.
So he's like, oh, yeah, and he hauls up like a little plastic. It's almost something that people would have used to put like breakfast on, like a tray. You just throw it on there. He's like, he just like puts it back and slots it into a slot somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will see if I can find Jesse anywhere.
Okay. So you go into the bullpen, and you notice that like the way he looks, a lot of these guys look, they're fairly tired. Some of them are, not all of them. But some of them are fairly tired. Like some people have probably worked a couple of double shifts and stuff like that. Let's not forget there was explosions. There was the rain to make people go around killing other people. There was a lot of things happening. There was a mass psychotic event, right? And which happened,
Shit happens.
Big cities.
Yeah, big city stuff happens.
Big cities have Boston, am I right? I don't fucking know.
None of us have ever been to Boston.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah, okay. So you go back into the bullpen, and there's another middle-aged officer. You're assuming is Officer Jesse, or it seems to be Officer Jesse. It's just everyone is a little bit thing, and there's a lot of people around in uniform and everything else. And you go over to the desk, and he's just sort of sitting there, and he's got like files all over the desk. And he, as you're standing there for a quick second, you say something.
Jesse, it's been a couple of days.
Oh, Amos, Bill's friend.
Yep.
Oh, oh, that's right. You were going to come in for a talk. Okay, and he sort of is like, there's no real order to the papers.
If you got time.
He's like, well, actually, all the interviews are being done by Officer Vincent Caputo.
Perfect.
He's sort of taking the lead on the case. I mean, that guy is fast-tracking to detective.
That checks out.
Yeah, it's sort of his thing where I'm sort of working on the logistics of other stuff.
Guess I'm going first, guys.
Yeah, so you can just sit in the, you know that area with all the chairs?
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Yeah.
You just sit there. It's not really a waiting room. Waiting hallway, I suppose. You can just sit there and wait, and he'll come get you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
I will go sit and wait to talk to Caputo.
Yeah, you go sit and wait. As I'm just going to move to Agatha and Marion, who you show up, both of you. It took a little bit longer. You see where this is going.
Yep.
Our cab driver wasn't very good.
Well, no, it's just maybe the location you're in. You were stuck behind a bit of traffic. I mean,
happens.
they're making a living, doing the best they can. Mm-hmm. And you get dropped off at the front of the Boston Police Department. And I'm assuming you head inside.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You both head inside. First things first. I need Agatha to roll a spot hidden check
What?
as you enter into the main.
Do I
Entrance
have
way.
a penalty die with my eye?
No, that was more for aiming and
Oh,
shooting.
okay,
I didn't
okay.
want to. I mean, it would make sense, but I'm not going to hinder you in that way right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Right? Spot hidden is fine. It's just.
Cool.
So,
I have 9%.
Nice!
Is that extreme?
That's extreme.
because you needed an extreme success for this, really. You would have gotten some information because you do notice something, and it might stop exactly what you're going to do. There's a board in the main room, and tacked on the board are wanted sketches.
Oh my god.
Wanted posters, FBI's top 10. There is a sketch reminiscent of you with a rifle.
And there's your consequences.
On the board.
I was an asshole, huh? For constantly talking about it. I was the dick.
There is a sketch. Now, it is fairly close, but it's not a perfect sketch. You know it's you because the most specifically well-drawn part of the picture is Kathleen.
Also, that picture has two eyes.
I was gonna say, I have a question.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that picture have two
That's the other thing, too. Which means that, master of disguise, throw on an eye patch.
You're extra welcome for ripping your eye out, bud.
Is it also in the suit that I'm wearing or no?
Oh, when did you get the suit that
No,
you're
you would have gotten
wearing?
changed because you got burned in the
Well, let's keep
That's
in,
true,
let's,
yeah.
let's
Yeah.
keep in mind that
was in a medical gown.
you are gonna say that you used to have two eyes a couple days ago, but now you no longer have two eyes.
That's right. Well, I mean, he's gonna know.
If you just give me 1 second, I'll tell you for sure. Because it depends on when you found the new suit.
Because it got burned,
Holy shit.
then it was repaired.
Yeah,
Yes,
she had
it
a
was
duplicate
repaired.
suit.
Don't look at me, man. I've been warning you about this. I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 2 damn years.
Why you always gotta take the gun?
Just learn to use a handgun, for Christ's sakes.
Nah.
Oh.
Put that shit in your coat. I'm not advocating for everyone to hide guns in their coats. I'm just saying.
You mean I can't
It's easier
Highlander
than
a
a-
rifle in my in a coat?
How
No,
tall
you
are
saw
you?
that shit off. What are you, 7'2"?
Amos is wearing the
I
coat that
managed.
you could hide the rifle in.
Barely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you found it. Just give me 1 second here. Just sorry, I just need.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done.
I have no regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, that sounds.
She says
That
so
sounds about right.
confidently.
How many times have I saved y'all with the rifle?
Agatha
Respect.
finds a blue-brown checkered suit owned by Althea's cousin Matilda. Matilda apparently had 7 children. Thanks for that, Althea. Thanks for that. That is when you woke up and seemed fine. Althea Goodyear had a concussion. And then you went to New England Center of Antiquity and found it had been attacked. Technically,
Yeah.
in the picture, it's the suit you're wearing.
Yep. Oh no. Yep.
Technically.
Yep.
By 1 episode, people, that's why notes are important. You got the suit the episode before everything happened at the New England Center
So
of
am I the
Antiquities.
only one who's
So you
not
do
wearing
know
clothes
Yeah.
that
that
once owned
this
by your
sketch
family?
was given by a witness, somebody
Yeah.
from that point on.
On.
Now, I need you to roll me an idea roll. Because you will recall where it came from, potentially.
Sorry. 12.
Damn.
Which is extreme, right? Because that's intelligence, right?
Yeah, idea rolls are intelligence. I should just say intelligence.
So
but
yeah,
it's-
12. So my extreme is 13.
Damn.
You
So-
recall walking out of the New England Center of Antiquities with your rifle and running across the street to the Packard, correct?
Yeah.
You also recall hearing a scream from up the road of an elderly woman who saw you leave with the rifle, who then ducked behind a car out of fear. And as you look at the wanted poster, you notice that the sketch, you seem to be pretty much that moment when you left. The way your body is, the way you're turned, like the lady's memory was quite good.
And her vision was
Photographic
also
almost.
really good for being a
I actually rolled for that a long time ago. Her vision was perfect.
Damn it.
I have an outside character question about that.
Okay.
Since that happened before the explosion at the library,
Well, another thing. Go ahead, sorry.
technically it's the same suit that she had on at the library, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is the suit Officer Caputo has seen you in,
Yes.
and your wanted picture was sketched up by a lady.
Yeah,
who
but
saw you long
sometimes
before
with
that.
our craziness on the go,
I know,
some stuff doesn't
I know.
get connected.
I'm just saying that he might already know that you're on that
I'm
wanted
about to
poster.
inadvertently maybe try and exonerate your
But
ass.
but the other
Welcome.
the other thing is that the reason that it was probably really memorable is when you hopped into the Packatoon 6 and was leaving. I mean, somebody also offloaded a full Tommy gun clip.
Yes. So you might have.
Oh,
a
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like there was a lot of
Yeah.
stuff happening.
That's what I mean. I'm about to exonerate your ass.
And it's
Try
not
to.
saying you were wanted for murder or anything, but is wanted for questioning.
Well, you're there for questioning, so it works out.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, it's
Right.
not bad.
You understand where this is coming from.
I know. I understand.
You don't seem too happy about it,
I've
but it's
dug my hole.
it's good.
You said you had.
It's,
hey,
it's a good character growth.
you said no regrets. Remember?
It builds character.
Yep. Fucking Christ.
Well, I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna nudge Marion
Okay.
and just kind of do like head nod and
What
a little bit of a shamed
Marion?
look in my face.
What's going on?
just look at the board. Do you see anything that looks familiar?
And I see it.
You see it.
Oh dear. Oh,
For completely disconnected, you just hear Emos going, "Ha!" He doesn't know what's happening. It's just a funny thing.
Yeah.
I think it was a good timing.
And I'm just gonna basically be like, well, I'm kind of, if I turn around now, it's gonna be a little bit more suspicious than anything else.
I look over at the desk. Has the desk sergeant noticed us?
He was very disheveled. He was very tired. I am going to have him roll a spot hidden with a penalty die.
That makes sense. Oh, this is so
Oh,
good.
no.
This
So
is
an
so good.
85.
Woo!
Wow.
So no. He seems to be only really looking at one thing right now, and that's a coffee mug, as he just seems to be just staring at it,
I've been
sort
there.
of nodding his head,
Been
half
there, man.
asleep.
I mean, he might. You might not be noticed, but if the longer you delay, you did speak to Officer Caputo saying that you would come by the station. The longer you wait, the more suspicious it looks.
There was no
But-
name on the wanted poster either.
But it isn't probably your best bet if we could bypass speaking to anyone else and just go straight to Officer Caputo. Then that might be the fastest thing to exonerate you.
What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put my arm around Marion's arm, because I'm potentially we're trying to play up that I have an eye injury,
Sweet
Which
Jesus.
you do.
which I do. And I'm just going to let you do the talking initially, and I'm going to basically just not say anything, playing up the fact that I have an injury, essentially, because that is why we are delayed a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I can actually kind of continue to look down so that my face is not generally full front seen.
Is there any way that, like the suit that you're wearing, does it have a jacket?
It's a suit. You
Yeah.
have a blazer. Now, under the blazer, now correct me if I'm wrong, because it's your character, I'm assuming tucked in dress shirt. Or
I believe it was a 3-piece, if I'm correct. It had
I'm pretty
the
sure it was a
vest
full
as
3-piece,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still a shirt
Yes.
underneath it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tucked into the pants.
Here, and I just
Yeah,
sort
so
of
you could take the coat and vest
pull
off.
the coat off
In the
and-
middle of the precinct where I'm already standing.
Well, I'm assuming that, and there's maybe suspenders, because suspenders are awesome. Or it's up to you.
For a women's suit, not so much, but
It depends on who you want to be.
Suspenders look great on women.
Depends on what you want. But you
I'm
notice,
going with historical accuracy.
That's
Costume
fine.
burr.
Yeah.
I know.
but you
know.
do
You know.
notice
Yeah.
that the person behind the desk, the cop manning the desk, still has not noticed you, and he looks like he's falling asleep.
So
like he is zonked.
So what I'm going to do then is we're going to go off to the side. I'm going to take the jacket off.
I hold open my satchel.
I'm going to keep the jacket around my arm, but I'm going to give you my vest to put in your satchel, so it looks like almost a completely different outfit. But what did we say? What time of year it was, or anything like
November.
that?
Oh, no,
Isn't it?
no, it is May.
Oh, yes, it is May.
It's going on the end of May.
Okay.
Yep.
So it would be
I
odd
have
if
the
I
exact
did
date,
not
but I like to
have a
keep it.
jacket because it's spring.
May? No, it would be odd if you did have a jacket, because it's warm.
It's just that people wore it. It's a suit, right?
It's also suit.
Yeah, so
That's
people
the other thing
wore
too.
suits.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay,
just
then
gonna I'm just gonna put it over my arm, but I'm gonna have it on the arm that I hook underneath your arm for assistance, so it's not in the general view.
And we'll start walking up to the desk, playing up that
I obviously
Agatha is having trouble.
You get to the desk, and like I said, it's higher. You've all seen it in movies, shows, stuff like that. It's higher, so it's like your shoulders, a little bit less than your shoulders up when you're standing close to it. And even standing right there, this officer has not noticed you.
Yeah. I'm just going to...
He looks like he's sort of...
Sir, could you just quickly point us in the direction of Officer Caputo?
Oh, because he's looking at you, and you got the yeah, okay. What's this in regards to?
He's doing. We spoke with him about an explosion that took place at the library.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So just down this hall, your second left. There's like a long hallway, and there's a pile of chairs in it. If you just go and sit there, and I think, and I'll let him know for Vincent to come do that.
Yeah. We'll just wait, and we'll let you finish your work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sir. Go right ahead, ladies. Go right ahead. And you walk on down, and you turn, and there's a group of chairs, and the only other person sitting in one of those chairs is Amos having a cigarette.
Well, fancy that.
I just sort of nod at you and lead Agatha to a chair.
You do notice they're really playing it up well.
Jesus.
Do you have acting?
I don't.
Do you have disguise?
Just the standard.
I have persuade.
Well, I mean, it's not that anyone's question. I just want to see how well you're playing this part. I know disguise doesn't really fit it.
I don't suppose like a psychology or psychoanalysis would work in my advantage.
Psychology will. I'll allow
cool.
I'll allow a psychology.
I was going to suggest
because you're
survival.
used to also dealing with people who have been gravely injured.
Yeah.
In Danvers. Yeah, I will allow that.
Okay.
That's cool.
That is 6% out of my extreme is 11.
Put a
Damn.
tick in psychology.
Okay.
Actually, if I would have called for what's your disguise at?
My disguise is at 5%.
You would have been close.
So as soon as you guys show up and I see they're hamming it up, it's
But
passable.
Jeez.
Right.
Can you roll your acting skill for me, please?
Wait, why am I rolling for acting?
I'm just...
No, it's a fail. It's 82 out of 25.
Yeah, but I just wanted to give you that chance to notice how well she's doing the part.
Fair,
That's
fair.
That's the only thing I was using it for. Plus, it gives an excuse to get some of these other skills up.
Nope, I love it.
That was it.
Good.
Can I check the biology of the residue on the floor? You know?
Is that fresh coffee on the floor? No.
So I'm assuming you don't sit right next to Amos. You're bringing her
No.
down to another area, and you're sitting down and waiting yourselves.
Yeah.
I will just, as they walk on past, I will just be like, as much honesty as we can. And that's it, and go back to smoking.
Okay.
You can do that back
I am quickly going to move over to Althea. As Althea, Simon, and Skeet get back to the house, what would you like to do while you're there?
I need to do two things. One, I need to make myself look rich enough that you might potentially give me a bonus die.
That's what
credit
we're
rating.
called it now. Okay.
On my
enough,
credit
fair
rating.
enough. Okay, sorry.
Second
that
of
was
all-
underhanded.
The disdain on the face.
Second of all, I'm 50-50 on whether or not I want to go to the theater and check for masks.
Oh my god!
You put it in my head!
And you're with Skeet?
I mean, you've got...
Oh, Simon's with you.
Yeah,
You've got
Simon's
dice
with me.
you could roll.
I do.
Let's choose quickly. Choose quickly. What would you like to do?
Evens masks, odds not masks.
You also have coins you could flip.
Yeah, I got like a whole bucket of coins. Flip coin.
Come on now. It's time.
Let's just go look. But I'll take someone with me. I'll take both of them with me.
We'll have that conversation. So,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So have it.
Okay. So, Althea's version of having a conversation. So we're going to the house, and I just kind of just start walking in a certain direction, and I turn to Simon and Skeet and say, "Come on, then."
Skeet keeps following, and Simon stops with a quizzical look on his face.
This makes
And he's like, come on then. Ooh. I'm going to go call Mr. Black, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was the plan? Okay,
We'll call him in a minute. We just need to check for something first.
What are we checking for?
To see if the theater has any masks in it.
Oh, he doesn't need to roll a psychology. Okay. He just looks at you like, what?
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. The next episode of The Call will air Tuesday, February 8th, with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast, returning Tuesday, February 15th. Please leave us a review on your podcast app of choice and visit our main website for merch and Ko-fi links. Music and ambient tracks licensed to Triune Films and Artlist. Your players tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your audio operator was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or Keeper, was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.